Hi everybody, this is Jessica. Please like and subscribe. So I am no longer going to worry about editing for this time being. I'm trying to learn how to edit and I'm really good at it. It just takes forever and that's Poochie. He's my boy. I actually have a bed cover, but I take it off because I have like a white blanket, but my bed cover looks like shit because he's always like eating stuff on my bed. Anyways, I don't normally just let him chill on my bed like that, but for videos, whatever. Unless he starts scratching, he's gone. Anyways, this video is gonna be a story of how like I decided to move forward with my transition, and I'm not gonna do a lot of crazy editing anymore because I run a business and I have kids, and as of right now, I just don't have time. If I'm going to spend like 20 hours editing, I'm not gonna make videos. Anyways, my edited videos don't do any better than the ones that aren't edited. So for now, we're just gonna, I'm gonna call this Jessica freestyling, right? So I am also gonna do some makeup, right? So to cover up my beard shadow, I normally start with some primer. I use mostly Sephora primer, right? I sometimes use orange here after the primer, but lately I've been using peach Sephora. It's called color corrector because so I can cover up my beard shadow just about all the way, but when I do that, I wear a lot of makeup. And I'm starting to think that even if you could see my beard shadow a little bit, it's still better because with less makeup, I actually look prettier. So we are trying not to care so much about our beard shadow, even though the beard shadow is like the bane of my existence. Normally, I would let the primer set a little while. So in fact, I can do that. I can put a little bit of primer. This is a different kind of primer. It's for my eyeshadow, right? I just put a little dot. I don't even know how to say what this is, but that's what it looks like. You see my big man muscle arm. And that's my phone just being crazy. All right, so I am not organized, but I do have somewhere okay, if I can't easily find my brush, I'll just use a blending sponge. These work too. See, it kind of makes it nice and smooth and white. And the thing is that I don't put primer on my eyelids because it makes my eyelids look cracked and old. And I was like, oh, what happened to my eyelids? And then I figured out it was the primer. So I only put it on this hard area above my eye, like below my brow. So when I was going to transition, so I wanted to transition for about 20 years, but I was always too scared. So what happened was about September 2024, so not very long at all, I decided that I was going to move forward. And when I decided I was going to move forward, I wanted to really make sure that I wasn't making a mistake. And I already lost my color corrector. Oh, there it is. So this is red, right? Or orange. If you have a lot of beard shadow, you should use orange. And you should let it dry, and then you should put setting spray on top of it, and then put your foundation. Anyways, I'm gonna use peach because I'm trying not to care so much, even though I still do care, right? This is a microphone, if anybody is wondering. So I started journaling, and I started thinking, like, is this right for me? Because I decided that I was just gonna live like a man because I didn't want to make my life too hard, and I thought I'd be too ugly. But about a year ago, I decided, you know what, maybe I don't want to do that because I've been doing a lot of self-help stuff for the last like so and so years. And I got to the point where I don't really care so much what people think. I mean, obviously I still do, but I try not to. And that's a lot of peach. That looks good. Sometimes I can put a little bit on little other areas that I have too. Or I could put concealer. I can put concealer if I want, right? So with makeup, you can kind of just do it. Once you figure out what works, you can kind of just do whatever you want. I used to think there's like all these rules. There's not really rules. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. That's the only rules. So when I first started doing the makeup, like I would have orange stuff all over my face and my kids would think I was crazy. They're like, what are you doing? And I was like, guys, I'm transitioning. This is just the way it is. I have orange face. No, I'm just joking. I didn't say that. Okay. So then I started journaling and I started trying to write out, okay, can I live with not being able to pass? If I transition and I never look pretty or I never look like a woman, can I live with that? If if I couldn't live with that, then I probably shouldn't transition, right? So I decided that I can live with that. But then I started thinking, what if I'm one of those people that figures out they're not really trans? They just thought they were trans, you know, like the detransitioner, which we always hear so much about. It's weird because being trans is so rare, and then being a detransitioner is like even rarer than that. So the idea that somebody is gonna transition and then not like it and transition back, I mean, it's like being struck by lightning twice. But anyways, that being said, I am not telling anybody they should transition unless they're 100% sure. I put a lot of time. I went through my whole life and I started looking for signs. Like, I played with some girl toys, but I wasn't exclusive. In fact, I loved He-Man. I loved Transformers. I liked She-Ra a lot. And I liked dressing like a witch for Halloween, but there was no toy signs that I was trans. Me and a couple boys, when I was really young, we used to play around and experiment, but that doesn't really mean that you're trans either. That just means, for me, I'm bisexual, right? People are like, oh, you say right too much. I'm like, I know, I say so too much, I say like too much, I say right too much. I'm trying. Anyways. So this just looks pretty good. And so you can see a little bit of beard shadow, but it's enough to move forward. And then I'll probably do a little, so I got this setting spray. I was like, I need a foundation that will never come off no matter what, right? So the other day, I put some deodorant on my face before I put my makeup. I was like, maybe this will help me not to sweat. I think it might have worked. I might try that again. Anyways, they said there's no like bulletproof foundation, but you can use this setting spray, which is supposed to be really awesome. So it's gonna burn my eyes, but I don't care. Just don't open your eyes while you're spraying it. Ah, you got me. All right, so I started journaling. I started going over all the incidents in my life that could have actually made me trans. And there was quite a few. Turns out being trans is the through line that pretty much explains everything I ever did. But still, I wasn't sure if it was enough because I had so much internalized homophobia. Talk about, like, and I grew up in a mostly liberal area. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. And even in a mostly liberal area, like, it was unacceptable to be gay. Nobody even knew what trans was. Oh, okay. So there's this one thing that I had to learn that I just learned out recently. So when you get a sharpener for your pencils, you have to make sure you get a good sharpener. And first you sharpen a little bit with the little one. And then after you sharpen a little bit with the little one, right, then you finish off with the big one, the big sharpener. The big sharpener, oh, it's gonna mess up if I do it. Anyways, the big sharpener is how you actually make it sharp. So the little sharpener is used to like cut down the pencil to get to the point where you can sharpen something. So this is actually, I'm doing a really bad job. It's probably also a good idea to clean your sharpener before you do this. I did not clean mine. So, okay, look, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And I decided that I'm not gonna edit this video. So if I can't get this, ooh. Attack, oh, I screwed it up. So you would be surprised how much little stuff you have to be able to learn. That's good enough. Another thing is too, is my hand is pretty shaky. So Actually, I'm going to use a mirror for this. You can't see it, but I'm getting a mirror. All right, so I'm just trying to get, see, I kind of screwed it up, but I did all right. I can work with that. So, and then some people put their eyeliner on. They put their eyeliner on after their powder or their shadow, but we're not doing that. So I made one way thicker than the other side. That sucks because I wanted it thin, but in the event that I do that, I just make the other side a little bit thicker, and I'm actually gonna use, it's really bad. I really screwed it up. Okay, but I'm gonna put a white eyeshadow on anyways. So that's like my contingency plan. And this is kind of like why I do this first, because if I don't do it first, and then I do all my makeup, and then I mess up my eyeliner, then that really sucks. That really sucks. So I got these. They're so pretty. What is it called? It's from Sephora. Oh, you don't see the label. It's called like Eye Glow or something like that. I like it. It's so pretty. You can see I use them. I only got these like 2 days ago. I do my makeup like once or twice a day. And I tell myself it's because I'm practicing. I need to get better, right? So, turns out that there's lots of evidence that I was trans, right? Actually, I'm gonna not do that yet. I'm gonna do something else first. Well, let's do the rest of the, so it's probably better to do the dark colors first on your eye makeup, right? So I don't get too crazy. I normally use 3 colors, a dark, a medium, and then also like a light. So this is Tarte. See the color palette is really cool. I'm probably gonna use this one. Sometimes I use this one and that one, and then I use like the pink. You can tell the ones that I use the most, right? And I finally figured out that you can buy singles. Anyway, so I have to use this one for this. I'm just gonna put a little bit here in the crease, right? Just a little bit. And just a little bit actually goes like, look at that. Like, so one thing I had to learn was don't go crazy with it, because if you do, you're gonna look like a lunatic. And then, so I put a dark, and then I'm gonna put a light pink now, and I'm just gonna go like along the top and maybe into it, and then do a little bit of blending. They say blend, 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 right? A lot of people normally compliment me on my eyeshadow, and the thing is that I never spend more than like 2 minutes doing eyeshadow. I just don't. I don't have time. I wish I did. I wish I had time to just do my makeup and make YouTube videos, and then I would do all the editing. I'd be like, because I'm really good at using software. I taught myself how to use Adobe in like a 2-day cram session, right? But I am a construction worker and I have children, so I just can't do it. I mean, I can, and I am, but I can't do it a lot. And it's been like a week since I made a video, and I want to make videos. I want to make content, and I want to get to know you guys, because I think this would be the thing. If I could choose doing something with my life, it would be staying home and raising my family and making content. So it looks to me that this side is still lighter than that side, and it's really bothering me. It's making me look kind of like a raccoon or something. But I am actually just doing this makeup so I can go to the grocery store. like I just wanted to make a video and talk to you guys, and go to the grocery store. So at a certain point, you just have to be okay with it. And maybe if I switch the light to this side, look, I switched the light and it looks better. That's another thing too, is I never realized that how important lighting was with things, right? So it turns out that there's a lot of evidence that I was transgender. One of the biggest ones is that my entire life, I started at a very young age. I used to call datelines and pretend to be a woman, because through the phone, I was brave And also, like, nobody could see me and it was safe. So, I mean, I have done that forever. And Jessica was one of the names that I used. Now, I also picked Jessica because it's one of the main characters from the Dune novels, and I am a big Frank Herbert Dune fan. And people said, "Isn't Frank Herbert problematic?" I said, "Please, please, I don't think so, but I really don't want to hear." And I actually did do research, and from what I can tell, Frank Herbert is not problematic. Just so you know, Frank Herbert is probably pretty progressive. And I don't think he's one of the progressives that, like, some people are progressive or liberal in all things except trans. Like, trans is like the one thing they draw the line on. It's like, wait, you're for everything but trans? Like, please. We're real. We exist. I can prove it. Like, you don't have to, I'm not a mythical creature, although I would like to be. All right, see, so, I mean, even just using the peach and the foundation, there's like not really any beard shadow, right? It actually looks really good. And although I kind of have a lot of makeup on, it's not too much. It's not too much. And that's important. What I'm starting to learn at my age, and I used to say I'm really old, but then I started thinking about other people that were my age and other women that are even older than me, and I started thinking, oh, that's mean. It's okay for me to call myself old, but I don't want to be calling other people old. Anyways, oh my God. So I do this all the time. Look, I don't even know how I did it, but somehow, boom, I got a bunch of black stuff. I think that maybe it drips off, or maybe it was on my eyelash and I flinged it off. I don't know, but sometimes I'm like, oh, where do all these like mascara drops come from? Whatever. Anyways, I'm trying to draw out my trans awareness story. So this is it's a concealer, not color corrector. And I'm just going to do the littlest bit of contour. Sometimes I go a little bit crazy with the contour. The trick with that is you want to find one that is not... So I need one that's dark and not too brown or not too orange or gold. And I like to go right on my jaw, right? So just the teeniest little bit. And some people say, oh, you have to drag it or you have to do whatever. I don't know about all that, maybe. And then I use the leftover and I hit right on the inside of my nose, right? So not too hard, a little bit of contour. And if you go too far, like I probably did, you can do this. Take your blending sponge and just go a little bit back. Gives you a little bit of contour. And then if you want to go really crazy, you can use another concealer that's lighter than your foundation. And you put boom, 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 right? And let it set up for a second. Check my face. So I'm probably going to try to do some lipstick, right? I love lipstick. I don't know where the one is that I want to use though. That's what sucks. And where is my pen? My pencil. All right, I have to get up for a second. So one thing about makeup is a lot of times the makeup that I'm looking for is like sitting right in front of my face, but I don't see it. Like, where is it? Anyways, I have a backup plan for the pencil. So here's this. This is my light, right? So basically everything you want to go forward, you want to be light. And everything that you want to go back, like my manly chin, my big giant nose, you want it to go back. So dark is back, light is front. And it just kind of makes it look, I mean, honestly, some of these girls that are so beautiful, like the younger ones that are really, I mean, they're not all young, but they really know how to do their makeup. I don't know how well, I do know. They've been doing it for so long. Like, I've probably done my makeup like 100 times. These girls have probably done their makeup thousands of times. So, honestly, I get a lot of compliments on my makeup. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. All right, so the lip liner is really, really the test. I mean, for a long time, I just dreaded the lip liner. Now I try to go, oh wait, so, oh, it's so hard to do it on my computer. So this one is kind of hard to mess up because it's like basically a nude. And then I try to overdraw, but I hope you guys can see this. This is like a really good pencil. Like, I don't know why. But it just seems to go on really good. Now, like a hard red is so easy to mess up. With a hard red, what I'll do is I really just make like a line here. And then I'll do like little sections. And I try to go in and just do it really. My cat's meowing. Come on, baby. Stop it. Now my dog is chasing. Don't chase. I have I have lots of cats, but this cat is named Bitty Kitty, and that's Poochie. Poochie, leave Bitty Kitty alone. So I normally do my liner, and then I do some more makeup, and then I come back, and the last thing I do is I put on my lipstick, and then maybe my lip gloss, you know? All right, so I used to call it chat lines, and one time, this is what you don't do. I was living in Miami, and I went to University of Miami. This is this liquid, what's the name of it? Rare Berry. I don't know the company, but it's real pretty. I use it all the time, but it's really, really strong. So just use a little bit. It's liquid blush, right? So I have like one brush for every kind of makeup, which this is a cheap brush. I think I got it from Publix. That's like the local grocery store. Anyways, one thing that you don't do is I was finally living by myself, and I went and I bought a bunch of women's clothes and makeup, and I had no experience wearing any of it. I bought a wig, and I put it all on. I did my makeup. I shaved. I got razor bumps, but not that night. But anyways, I did everything, and I looked in the mirror, and I looked like a lunatic. And I hated the way I looked. And it scared me so bad that it was probably 10 years before I tried to dress like a woman again. And so what I recommend is if you're going to start dressing or doing makeup, prepare yourself for it because you're not going to look good. I mean, probably not going to look great right away. And also, when you first look at yourself, you might see something that's not real. Like, sometimes I look at myself and I see a man and other people see a woman. So it's like this self-image that I have of myself is creating this picture that really isn't real, you know, and it's dysphoria at its worst, really, but I just want you to be aware that you can traumatize yourself. So you have to mentally prepare yourself. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, you know. And anyways, that was around 2012. And obviously I didn't move forward with my transition until 12 years later. And I don't think I barely ever dressed like a woman. I mean, probably in 2011 I started buying women's clothes, and that was kind of like, I don't know. I really wasn't seriously thinking about transitioning. I was just playing around. Because I still had that internalized transphobia where I didn't think I could pull it off. That's what it really was about. I didn't think I could pull it off. and I thought my life would be too hard. All right, so this is almost all the makeup, right? And every single step, the foundation, the color corrector, the primer, even the eye makeup, and even the powder, right? I'm not putting new powder on my powdering brush. I'm not trying to put too many layers of makeup on anymore because I started making myself look too old. And it's better to look a little bit more like yourself, and maybe even if you have the shine through from your beard, than to cake on the makeup and look too old. It's not good. I look prettier like this. And if this is what I look like, I have to get used to myself. I have to accept myself, right? And it's easier said than done. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you know I am always criticizing myself, but I still put myself out there. I still try the different clothes on to find something that fits. And if it fits, I buy every version of it, right? But the thing is that the more we dress and the more we do makeup and the more that we take chances and put ourselves out into the world, the easier it gets for us and the less dysphoria we have and our quality of life improves, right? So now I am just about done with this video. We are going to do my lipstick, and I don't know if you can really see, you can kind of see that, and it's not perfect. Another thing with lip liner and lipstick and makeup in general, unless you have time to start over or you get good at fixing things, which I'm getting better at fixing. Like I have like a repair kit that I bring with me. It's so funny. But anyways, if my makeup isn't perfect, I still just say let it go. Because if you try to fix it, you might actually make it worse. And if you're like me and always crunch for time, most of the time that my makeup isn't good, it's because I'm rushing anyways. So I don't have time to go back and redo it. So sometimes makeup has like a good taste. I know this taste. I can't place it. It's kind of like candy corn, and if you guys hate candy corn, I'm one of the people that likes candy corn, but it tastes like some kind of like old school candy or something. Oh, I like it so much. Sometimes makeup has beautiful smells, and so personally, if I wasn't a woman, I don't think that I would love the way makeup looks and feels and smells and tastes and like dresses. Like when I find a dress that fits me well, I like jump up and down. Like I jump up and down. Like I go, ah! Like and also like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm on a high dose of testosterone blockers. I don't get any sexual arousal from dressing like a woman. Now, if you do, that's also okay. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I just hate that stereotype of the autogynophiliac. He is an autogynophiliac. It's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, let me see your browsing history, transphobe. All right. So, when I journaled, I went through my whole life, and the thing that was my definitive answer whether or not I wanted to transition is I imagined growing old. And I realized that I have to grow old as a woman. I cannot grow old as a male, right? It's like the light or the dark. And once I realized that I cannot grow old as a male, I have to be a woman, then I was like, well, then it doesn't matter what I look like or anything like that or how hard life is, because it's just so important to me. It's literally my self-image realized out into the world. And that's what we're going to do. We are going to be full Jessica all the time, and to the point that I'm an old woman. And I love you. Whoa, wait a minute. Lots of setting spray. I love you. Bye.